I've been around the block when it comes to training. As a personal trainer, I've had clients from both the bodybuilding and the calisthenics worlds, and I've trained in both disciplines myself. I've spent years experimenting, testing different methods, pushing my limits, and watching what actually works in the gym, on the bars, and in real-world performance. I've come to the conclusion that the best results come when you take the intensity and the muscle building principles from bodybuilding and apply them to the raw, bodyweight focused world of calisthenics. Now, I know that might sound like blasphemy to some hardcore calisthenics purists. Why borrow from bodybuilding? Isn't calisthenics all about mastering your body weight? Trust me, I used to think the same way. In my early years, I was obsessed with high rep training. Endless sets of push-ups, pull-ups and dips, convinced that more was always better. And sure, I got stronger. But after a certain point, progress stalled. My strength gain slowed, my joints started to feel the wear and tear, and my muscle growth hit a wall. That's when I started looking at how bodybuilders train. They don't just do more and more reps. They focus on intensity, mechanical overload, and progressive resistance. So I stole their playbook and applied it to calisthenics. Weighted pull-ups instead of mindless reps, pseudo push-ups instead of burnout sets, advanced variations instead of just adding volume. And the results were instant and insane. More muscle, more strength, and a training style that actually felt sustainable. If you've been in the calisthenics community for a while, you have probably heard the golden rule: just do more reps. Can't do 20 push-ups? Do 50. Can't do 50 push-ups? Do 100. While this method does build endurance, it is a painfully inefficient way to build muscle. High rep training mostly targets slow twitch muscle fibers. These fibers are built for endurance, but they don't have the same hypertrophy potential as fast twitch fibers, the ones responsible for explosive power and serious muscle mass. If your goal is to look strong and actually be strong, you need to target those fast twitch fibers, and that requires intensity, not just volume. Another problem is that cardiovascular fatigue kicks in before true muscular failure. You might feel gassed after a set of 50 push-ups, but if your muscles haven't been properly overloaded, you are not triggering the adaptations necessary for real growth. Worse, if fatigue sets in, your form breaks down, reducing muscle activation and increasing injury risk. Finally, high rep training is a time sink. Super high volume workouts can stretch for hours. In order to reach a place of growth, you need to do set after set of high reps. The lower the intensity, the higher the volume needs to be to trigger adaptations. And if you need 2-hour sessions just to see progress, how sustainable is that in the long run? This whole game is like running a marathon when you're trying to sprint. It is just the wrong tool for the job. Instead of chasing endless reps, the key is to make your exercises harder, not just longer. That's exactly what bodybuilders do. They don't just keep adding reps forever, they increase resistance. And we can apply the same principle to calisthenics. Rather than grinding out more repetitions, you can progress to a harder variation, add external resistance with a weight vest, or even throw on a loaded backpack, books, bricks, whatever you've got. Once regular push-ups feel easy, don't just crank out more. Level up with planche push-ups, archer push-ups, or by strapping on extra weight. Instead of doing endless pull-ups, challenge yourself with weighted pull-ups or one-arm progressions. Another powerful way to ramp up difficulty is by incorporating gymnastics rings. The instability forces more stabilizer engagement, turning even basic movements into a serious strength challenge. The goal is to stay within the 4 to 8 rep range for the first big compound movements of your workout. These are your main exercises of choice that you should be tracking regularly and striving to improve on with time. Getting insanely strong on these lifts will bring you 80% of your progress in terms of muscle and strength gains. This approach keeps workouts structured, shorter, 40 to 60 minutes per session, and laser focused on progressive overload, instead of wasting time on excessive volume. Now, that doesn't mean that high reps are completely useless and you need to stay away from them. They still have a place, just not in your primary strength work. Instead, save them for isolation exercises like bicep curls, tricep extensions, or high rep core movements. These exercises don't demand as much raw strength, so higher volume can help without putting excessive strain on your joints. When I quit obsessing over reps and started focusing on structured intensity, my training completely transformed. To picture everything that we discussed so far, I'm going to share with you the exact way I approach my training sessions. Once I'm done with my skill work for the day, I dive into the heavy, low rep compound movements, 4 to 8 reps. This is where I hit big lifts like weighted dips, handstand push-ups, weighted pull-ups, pistol squats, focusing on raw strength and controlled execution. I like doing most of my work on gymnastics rings, and I also use a weight vest, which force my muscles to work harder without needing to rack up extra reps and allow more natural joint movements. Tracking numbers here is crucial. Before every session, I know exactly what I'm aiming for. If I've been hitting 6 reps on weighted pull-ups for a while, today I'm going for 7 reps. Having this clear target keeps me motivated and actually improves performance. Next, I shift to moderate rep exercises, 8 to 12 reps. Dialing in a slow, controlled tempo, 1 second concentric, 3 seconds eccentric contractions to maximize muscle engagement. This keeps me locked into the 40 to 60 second time under tension range, the sweet spot for hypertrophy. Here I focus on building volume with movements like rows, deficit push-ups and explosive lunges, ensuring every rep counts. To wrap things up, I hit high rep isolation work, 10 to 15 plus reps, to target the smaller muscle groups while keeping joint stress low. This is where ring curls, tricep extensions, reverse ring flies and core finishers like hanging leg raises come in, polishing off the session with a solid burn and reinforcing overall muscle balance. Regarding sets and rest periods, I stick to 2 intense sets to complete failure per exercise. My workouts usually consist of 6 to 7 exercises, with rest periods from 1 minute between isolation movements all the way up to 5 minutes for the big compound intense work. This method leads to shorter, more efficient workouts, typically lasting 40 to 60 minutes per session, without including skill work. By eliminating unnecessary volume, every set and rep serves a purpose, making training more effective without wasting time. It also ensures clear progression. Each workout has a goal, whether it's adding weight, increasing reps, or improving execution. I like high intensity workouts, but they can be very taxing on the nervous system. If you decide to train this way, make sure to structure your plan with enough rest days to allow proper recovery and sustainable progress. Pushing hard is great, but growth happens when you recover. At the end of the day, training isn't about loyalty to a specific method, it's about what works. Through years of trial and error, working with clients from both the bodybuilding and calisthenics communities, and testing everything on myself, I have found that the most effective and efficient approach to sustainable progress in calisthenics is to blend the best of both worlds. Take the muscle building wisdom of bodybuilding, progressive overload, intensity and structured strength work, and apply it to calisthenics. Train with purpose instead of mindlessly chasing reps. Push your limits with heavy, low rep strength work, complement it with moderate rep secondary exercises, and use high rep isolation movements strategically. By increasing intensity through weighted calisthenics, advanced progressions, and even tools like gymnastics rings, you force your muscles to adapt and grow efficiently. Make sure you always track your workouts and progress, and train with high effort to ensure you are giving your best. Now I want to hear from you. What is your approach to rep ranges in calisthenics? Are you training with high reps or are you shifting toward the strength-based model? Leave a comment below and let me know. And if you found this video helpful, leave a like and subscribe to my channel to support my work. I'll see you in the next session.